very grateful that the inimitable Charlie Kaufman gave us permission to be vulnerable and nervous, because as an actor and writer who typically writes comedy and is about to give a very sincere speech, I am both vulnerable and nervous. In 2017, New York Times reporters Jodi Kantor and Twohey began investigating producer Harvey Weinstein's mistreatment of women. Through the exhaustive process of interviews, chasing evidence, and trying to convince victims to go on the record, Kantor and Twohey uncovered Weinstein's decades-long pattern of harassment and assault, setting him on a path from private jets to prison. In 2018, when these two intrepid New York Times reporters set out to chronicle this story in their book, She Said, they fed Rebecca Lenkiewicz chapters to adapt into a screenplay before the book was even finished. Lenkiewicz worked closely with the reporters and victims to ensure sensitivity and accuracy. She's spoken of the tremendous responsibility she felt to the victims, to women she knows who have had horrific experiences, and even to her male audience. I am an actor in the cast of She Said, but I am also a Weinstein survivor and the founder of Hire Survivors Hollywood. It is my mission to ensure that survivors of abuse within our industry do not suffer a second time by losing their careers as well. Hire Survivors Hollywood works to ensure that survivors are seen, heard, and included. And Rebecca's work does exactly that. Her care and attention exemplify what it means to be an ally and to listen to the voices of survivors, all while serving the story and making beautiful art. Rebecca Lenkiewicz's commitment to honoring the truth resulted in an extraordinary film that spotlights the story that set the world on a more equitable path. The Weinstein case was the spark for a movement, forever changing gender, sexual, and power dynamics around the world. We are grateful to Rebecca Lenkiewicz for her extraordinary contribution to progressing the rights of women and really any person who has felt powerless in the face of abuse. The Paul Selvin Award is presented to the WGA member whose script best embodies the spirit of the constitutional and civil rights and liberties which are indispensable to the survival of free writers everywhere, and to whose defense Paul Selvin committed his professional life. It is my honor and privilege to present this year's award to my friend and a friend to all survivors of sexual violence, Rebecca Lenkiewicz.
Thank you, Sarah, for that and for your brilliant work. Thank you to the WGA for your amazing work for writers and for this beautiful Paul Selvin Award. It's lovely to be here with fellow writers. And I have a piece of paper, because every writer likes a piece of paper, especially when you've rewritten on it. I feel very privileged to have worked on She Said. It's about many things. It's about women's voices being silenced. It's about young women and their right to work, to aspire without being manipulated or attacked. It's about the long-lasting damage of abuse. But it's also about impeccable journalism that would not be stopped despite walls of silence and decades of lies. It's about an incredibly brave collective of survivors and witnesses who spoke out. It's about the truth. It's about working mothers. Twohey and Jodi Kantor were unstoppable in their investigation, and along with Tarana Burke's Me Too movement, they changed the workplace for women. People asked me if it was a dark space to write in, and yes, there was rage. But there was so much light, too, from very brilliant people. I thank Didi Gardner and Jeremy Kleiner for their brilliant insight and support, and for giving me the freedom to write. I thank Twohey, Jodi Kantor, Rebecca Corbett. It was brilliant to meet and talk with Zelda Perkins, Laura Madden, and Rowena Chu, who shared their difficult past with bravery and grace. Maria Schrader and her incredible creative team brought the words to life. The stunning cast, led by Zoe Kazan and Kerry Mulligan, they were truth seekers all. Thanks to Plan B and Annapurna and Universal for being brave and making, she said. Thanks to my brilliant agent, Tracy Hyde, my amazing compadre. And thank you to Gary. I'm writing a play at the moment about a female Indian spy in the Second World War. And she was told that if she went into Paris, she would die within 40 days. She lasted a lot longer, a few months, Nur Inayat Khan. But finally, she was arrested and she was taken to a camp. And she knew that her time was up, but she would give no names. And the last word that she said, it was recorded, and it was liberté, freedom. And I think what she was saying was, you can take my life away, but you can't have me. You don't have me, because freedom is all. I dedicate this to my brilliant mother, Mouse, who brought us up alone. There was no money, but there was a lot of joy. There was a black and white telly with 3 channels, which we fought over as kids. And there were books, and there were films. And I dedicate this to you, my mother. Your only religion then and now was freedom. Thank you all.